I got a question about how I edit while I'm recording myself during my live streams. So I'm going to show you how I work super fast in my recording template, which you can still get on my website. This is my template. I have a separate video about that, link below. Before I start recording, I set up my auto-tune, and that's where the first key command comes in. Because it's on every track, I select multiple tracks, click, shift click, and then while I hold shift option, which activates Q-Link, I click on one of these. I'm still holding the key command, and I'm gonna change this key. Now I release the keys on my keyboard, and all of these are set to the right key. Then to record, since I'm on a laptop, I change the key command to the equal sign. So I'll just press that, or I'll start playback and then press it. I also zoom in and out a lot. I do that using the trackpad of my laptop while holding command. If I want to drag an event to a different track, I'll click it and then hold command so it can't move horizontally. When I'm recording my lead vocal, I'll often use punch in or punch in and punch out. You can do this several ways, but this is how I do it. First, go to Preferences, Editing, and check this one. Cycle follows range selection, that's hard to say. Bruh. Then go here and click this one, Combine Selection Tools. Now when I hover over the top half of my event, I get the range tool, and the bottom half is the selection tool. Quick side note, if you hold Option or Alt, you get the cutting tool. Then make sure snap is off, which you can toggle using J. And then I think by default, punch in and out are assigned to I and O. You can always change that in the key commands, activate punch in and out. Over here in the transport bar, you can see if they're activated. And the lock here, if it's activated, it locks the punch points to the locators. If you unlock it, you get these separate punch points. But I leave it locked. And then if I want to re-record a part, all I have to do is select the range, press I and O to activate punch in and out, hit my spacebar to play, and when it passes the in point, it's going to start recording, and when it passes the out point, it stops recording. I'll also link to a video about this whole punch in recording. You can also only activate punch in, and then it'll keep going. Keep in mind that even though we're doing punch in recording, you'll still have your lanes as well. So if I click this button, I'll get to see all the takes I did, and you can still comp it if you want to. I did a video on that as well, so check that out if you want to know more. To clean up these recordings, I'll just go in and drag the handles, or use the range tool and hit backspace. And if I don't want to delete something, but I want to mute it, I'll right click and choose this one. Next, my background vocals. This is what I'm gonna explain. I always record my background vocals 4 times and do like a butterfly pan, hard left, hard right, and a little to the left and right. That way they sound fuller and they're not in the way of the lead vocal. So to make this go fast, go to Settings, Editing, and select this one. Use up-down navigation commands for selecting tracks only. That's how I go to the next track using my arrow keys. Also make sure that your start mode is set to return to start position on stop, because you want to keep going back to the same start point. So essentially, the keys I'm pressing when I'm recording background vocals are equal sign, spacebar down, equal sign, spacebar down, and so on. If you're used to it, you don't really have to think about it. Next, in key commands, look for crop range and assign a key command to it. I chose Shift W. That's how I cut the background vocals to the same length. Next, I made my own macros that I also have a video on. I'll link all of those videos below, but it's this one, fade in and out, and I named this one defade. So if I select a group of background vocals, I have full and fast control over the fades. You can use auto fades, but I don't want to fade on every cut, and I want to be able to resize them. Sometimes I'll do it a different way. I think this key command is a default one, adjust fades to range. So you can either select the part you want to fade and press A, or you select the part in the middle and then press A. And then to kind of finish off that group of background vocals, I'll use Shift Command and drag for clip gain. That's easier than using this little fader because you can just click anywhere. Why I use clip gain is just during recording because it's faster, and there's also going to be several recordings on the same track that need a different volume setting. So to make a quick balance, this works perfectly. If you want to solo this new group of vocals to check how they sound, there's a quick way to do that. Go to Settings, Editing, and select this one. Track selection follows event selection, so now you can just select your vocals, hit S on your keyboard, and they're soloed, hit S again, and they're not soloed. And then one last very practical thing is how to fly over groups of vocals. For example, if you want to reuse the hook, I just use very basic selection, so I'll click and drag to get my events. If I need to add to the selection, I'll hold Shift or Command, and then you can drag again or just click. Then make sure you have relative grid selected and your snap is on. Hold Option or Alt to copy and drag this whole thing over. If you release it, it's still going to be selected, so you can still adjust. In my template, I do have these folders, which also allow me to just select these blocks and then move those. So I hope that helped. If it did, please like the video and also subscribe and have fun making music.